there, 5th grade. This grammar video is for April 22nd. Today we're going to continue comparing with adjectives and adverbs, but before we do that, I'd like to go on in Psalm 46, and the next two verses, verses 2 and 3 say, "Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling." Isn't it comforting to know that no matter what type of situation is going on in the world, God is our refuge and strength, and we do not need to fear. So in the midst of the situation that we're involved in right now and that we're experiencing, we don't need to fear. We know that God is in control and that He is our refuge and our strength, and He's going to take care of us during this time. I hope that's a comfort to you. All right, so let's take a look at the sentences that I've written up on the board. Take a look at sentence number 1. The National Weather Service provides accurater information than the local TV weather station. Okay. Number 2. The National Weather Service provides the accuratest information. Now remember, adjectives and adverbs are used to compare, and an adjective can compare two or more nouns or pronouns, and adverbs can compare two or more actions. Well, what seems to be wrong with those sentences? Do they sound right to you? No, not really, do they? They don't make sense. Accurater and accuratist aren't even real words, are they? And they're awkward to say. So when we have long adjectives or adverbs, instead of adding ER to the word or EST, we use the words more or most in front of the adjective or the adverb to compare instead of ER or EST. So the rule is words with 3 or more syllables, and some 2-syllable words use this rule also. We use the words more or most instead of ER or EST. So say the word accurate to yourself. Accurate. Okay, how many syllables did you hear? 3, right? So we use more accurate or most accurate. So in sentence number 1, the National Weather Service provides more accurate weather than the local TV weather station. We're comparing two things. We're comparing the National Weather Service to the local TV weather. So we would say more accurate. In sentence number 2, the National Weather Service provides the accuratest information. Since we're talking about the National Weather Service compared to all other weather stations and services, we would say it is the most accurate. We do the same thing with the words less and least. When we're comparing two things, we use the word less, and when we're comparing 3 or more, we use least. So look at sentence number 3. The local TV weather station provides less accurate information than the National Weather Service. And number 4, the local TV weather station provides the least accurate information. Out of all of them, it is the least accurate. So if it's a longer word, 3 or more syllables, and some 2-syllable words, we use more, most, less, or least. All right, we're going to go on with our workbook page, and we're also going to check the page that you did yesterday. Okay, let's go ahead and check the worksheet that you did yesterday, comparing with ER and EST. So check section 1, make sure that you spelled the words correctly, that if you needed to make a spelling change, like changing the Y to I or doubling the last consonant, that you did that. And then part 2, you had to underline the correct adjective or adverb. And then part 3, you had to write the correct adjective or adverb form. So go ahead and stop the video wherever you need to for as long as you need to check those. You do need to make sure that you spell the words correctly. If we have this on a test or a quiz, the words need to be spelled correctly. You need to follow the spelling rules. If they're not spelled correctly, then they will be marked as wrong. Okay, let's go on to today's workbook page. Page 241, comparing with more, most, less, and least. All right, an adjective can compare nouns or pronouns. Short adjectives add ER or EST, while long adjectives use more, most, or less, least to compare. Snowstorms are less forceful than blizzards. Than signals a comparison between snowstorms and blizzards. The adjective forceful is too long to add ER to without making the word difficult to pronounce. It would sound really strange if you said forcefuler, wouldn't it? An adverb can be used to compare actions. Short adverbs not ending in ly add ER or EST. Long adverbs use more, most, or less, least to compare actions. Snowstorms occur less frequently in Alabama than in Vermont. The adverb frequently describes how often snowstorms occur. Less is used to compare the frequency of snowstorms in states. The snow was cleared more quickly on the main roads than on the secondary roads in Merrimack County. Quickly is an adverb that describes how the snow was cleared on the main roads compared to the secondary roads in Merrimack County. Do not add ER or EST at the end of an adjective or adverb when more, most, or less, least is used. So the correct way would be to say the strongest winds blew across the lake. It would be incorrect to say the most strongest winds blew across the lake. The most frigid weather happens in January. That's correct. It would be incorrect to say the frigidest weather happens in January. Okay, so remember, use less and least in the same manner as more and most before longer adjectives and adverbs. All right, let's take a look at the guided practice. They want us to underline the correct adjective or adverb form. So number 1 says, the biting winds during the storm were the harmfulest, most harmful. Which of those would be correct? You're right, most harmful. We don't say harmfulest. Okay. That's one of those two-syllable, harmful, two-syllable words, but we still have to use more or most, less or least. Number 2, frostbite is less common, least common in Georgia than in Minnesota. Less common, right. We're comparing two states. We're comparing Georgia and Minnesota, so we use less. Number 3, the blizzard of 1866 was one of the toughest, most tough storms ever. Right. We can use the EST ending. We can say toughest. Okay, next part, we need to write the correct form of the adjective or adverb. Number 4, the first snowfall was blank, then the last. Okay, we're comparing two snowfalls, the first and the last. Are we going to say beautifuler, or are we going to say more beautiful, or most beautiful, or less beautiful, or least beautiful? Yeah, there's a couple ways you can go here. Since we're comparing two things, we could either say more beautiful, or we could say less beautiful. So either one of those would be correct. We just don't want to say beautifuler or beautifulest, right? Okay, number 5. January is the blank month in Jackson, Wyoming. Okay, so it's comparing January to all the months, so it would be, right, the snowiest. We can add EST Just remember to change the Y to I before you do that. Okay, let's take a look at the back. For the first part, you're going to underline the correct adjective or adverb form. And you have 10 sentences there. Then the second part, you're going to write the correct form of the adjective or adverb. So remember the rules we just talked about. And then apply and write. They want you to write a sentence for each adjective or adverb. So in the first sentence, you need to use more modern. And in the second sentence, you need to use most quickly. All right, thanks for watching the video. Keep working hard. You're doing a great job. See you next time.